Well, let's see whatever we got. Hurt, dirt, 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 dirt. Let's see. It's got to be something I want to watch. That's right. Oh.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Linkar is gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. What's with these awkward subjects? What's all this art so rubbish? To anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he is a man who punch sporadically or grouch. Linkara. Spaceship, but he's always on his couch.
Hey, RLM, how you doing? What's up with you?
God's a universe in flux. Linkara. This comic sucks. Linkara.
Hey, Brum Bison, what's up?
Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. 2024 is over. How did we feel about it at the end? I don't know, that seems to be underplaying it a bit. Okay, let's be fair here. 2024, not as bad as 2016 or 2020, but still ended up being pretty crappy by the end. The worst of us are once again rewarded, while the most vulnerable are made to suffer further. It was rough already, but it's only going to get worse. But as has been said, Hope is not a soft figure providing comfort and grace, but someone with a bunch of bruises, a bloody nose, and spitting out a tooth as they proclaim, right, what's next? And some of you were asking for the Mr. T review to come around already to ensure things went well. Problem is, you were asking for it long after it was released. A lot of you didn't even realize.
Oh, let's see. Doing all right. Just finished the last episode, Cloud Word Ho from Dimension 20. Doing okay, you. I'm grumpy. I'm grumpy, grump. Just don't know why. I think I just haven't slept properly.
I had
So
already
I'm like
done a
kinda-
Mr. T review this year. Mr. T and the T-Force number 9 came out April 22nd. I made sure it happened when it did because even by that point, we were starting to have scheduling issues. You know, I was gonna have a second Mr. T review later in the year, bolster up the energy, but then the schedule slips happened and I needed to focus on Patreon-sponsored reviews since people pay for those. Coincidentally, it feels like the first half of the year, when the review came out, was a lot better, a lot more hope and successes. But there was just so much that Mr. T couldn't handle it completely after only one review. He's not a god, he's a man like the rest of us, and he tried his best, just like we all have to. But let's get talking about the year on this show. I know it's not the most important thing in the world, but hey, I think it's good to review the year's failures and successes to help us
Oh, man. Yeah, I put on Linkara because I was thinking, like, man, I remember when I loved this content. And I'm not talking about whether or not his content is any, Linkara's content specifically is any good, but reviewer content, used to love it. So what is there? So what is it I loved? So I haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, I got that grumpy guy says you slept bad. You slept bad. Well, I'm also grumpy about the fact that I've hit a brick wall with the video, with the Babylon Kickstarter video, because I'm like, I don't know what to put in there, Jack. I don't know what to fucking put in there. Well, I'm glad Has-Been Hotel's going well. I got a bit of something stuck in my craw about Has-Been Hotel because everyone keeps comparing Babylon to Has-Been Hotel, and I'm like, no, it is nothing like Has-Been Hotel. You know, I don't know how to fucking say it, but it is not. Has-Been Hotel is is relatively friendly and soft. This game is not. It is much more punk. It is much more in your face. It is much more fucking deviant. You know, we're not trying to soften the image of a monster here. You know, we're just going full force into it. Vampires and other monsters kill people. You know, yeah, the game is not Has-Been Hotel, but a lot of people who look at it superficially, like, say that, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, no. It's a monster city that worships a sex goddess. I mean, like, yeah. Well, it's like Babylon is supposed to feel sinister. Like you're kind of doing something bad by playing it. You know, you kind of going somewhere maybe you shouldn't. You know, and yet it still says, come in, buy me, you know. That's the whole idea. It's not Has-Been Hotel. You gotta be fucking kidding me. It ain't even Hell of a Boss. You know, it is something completely different. But people are gonna assume I mean, if someone said, this looks like Monster High with blackjack and hookers, I would have said, like, yeah, okay, that's fair. Like, that's fair. I could accept that. But Monster High's like too long ago in memory. Like, no one, people who like it remember it, but I don't think anyone else does. There are plenty of people that liked it. You know, it's like people trying to compare which show's better, Stranger Things or Welcome to Derry. And I'm like, well, Welcome to Derry has way fewer episodes and it's a way different tone. Like, yeah, it's got that kids on bikes aspect to it. But like Welcome to Derry goes way harder. It goes way harder. Like, I'm still sitting there going like, yeah, I don't think all the characters are going to make it. In fact, I don't think any of the characters are going to make it. Oh, it still has a strong fan base? Good. I like that idea. I think maybe like they just don't seem to make as many of those toys anymore. Or do they? And I'm just like, you know what? Now I think about it, maybe I just don't realize it because I don't go to stores as much as I used to. Oh my God, they did Corpse Bride. Aw. They did a Wednesday. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, never mind. I have no idea what I'm talking to. Ooh. They did a Santa Muerte. Oh, not Santa Muerte, but Dia de Muertos. Okay. Oh, she's still all skeleton-y, so it counts. A couple of years ago, I got free manuscript evaluation. I ever compare what I wrote Clive Barker's work. Oh, that's nice. Well, no, that's high praise, actually. That's high praise to be compared to Barker. You know, that's real high praise. So I'm assuming that it has a lot of sexual elements, a lot of gore, a lot of occultism. This manuscript, because that's what I think of when I hear like someone's going like, "Oh, this reminds me of Clive Barker." Well, I like Linkara, but I don't like this. I don't watch this kind of content anymore, and I'm kind of trying to figure out why. Because like I used to love it. I used to fucking love it. So, is it just that I know how the sausage is made? You know, because I was part of that company. Like even if I was like in the basement. I sometimes feel like I blew my chance to be a star, right? But the reality is I did my best. And if that means I'm not a star, then I have to live with that. Whatever happened to Linkar? Oh, he's still around. He's still around. He still does this. This was done early. This video was done earlier this year, but there are more recent ones. He put out a video like just about a week ago, I think. And the blood sucking scenes have a vibe. No, that's high praise then. Being compared to Barker is high praise. Yeah, I would take that. I would take that as a thumbs up. Okay, so you like Welcome to Derry more than Stranger Things. Yeah, but that's a personal preference thing. I can't really say one show's better qualitatively than the other. I think Spoonie was a guy I think that had to quit. Like, I don't think he would have quit if he didn't have to. You know, I think it all got too much for him, which I can understand. I can understand it all getting to be too much. You know, I used to really like Spoonie. I used to think he was really funny, you know. Mainly used to just because he stopped. You know, but whatever thing that he's got that is fucking him up, he needs to deal with that. He needs to deal with that rather than be in the spotlight. Let's see.
Try to do better in the next year. And we should get started right away with the big failure that I just mentioned, the schedule slippages. I made a resolution at the start of 2024 to do 52 episodes of Atop the Fourth Wall. And it was a dismal failure. Truth be told, even by that point, I didn't think I'd pull it off, but I expected to at least do as well as the last 2 years. A fan in my Discord actually put together a very useful, cool spreadsheet detailing how many episodes I've put out per year and the total duration of episodes minus theme song and end credits. 2024 was the worst year I've had in terms of putting out videos, beaten only by 2008. Because that's when I started, so the numbers begin in October, and as such, it's kind of an outlier. 29 episodes, people. It was up in the air if I'd even be able to do half the total I wanted to put out. It's embarrassing when once upon a time I was actually praised and well known for consistently putting out a video every week. And 1 year ago, some of you didn't get what this number was on the whiteboard. That was me personally keeping track of how many episodes were left. And I could wallow in self-pity about it, but no.
$24.
Let's try again. I make no promises, but I think this is always going to be a goal worth pursuing. And yet you may have noticed in the tail end of December, I got stuff out faster. Part of that was one of the...
God is dead! Satan lives!
Allah and stuff happens to us all.
Yeah. Thanks for the affirmation, Jack. It was my Oswing Vampire story you've been stuck on. Well, this is one of the things that I think is really interesting about Ace. I know a lot of Ace people whose art and writings are actually quite horny. So I'm always kind of interested in what that is. You know, maybe your one sexuality is simply literary. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, him being weird to Lupa? Wait, weird to Lupa? What do you do to Lupa? I don't remember him doing anything to Lupa. I remember he did something, the weird shit he was talking weird shit about what's-her-face, the anime chick. Joe, I think? Yeah, I don't remember what problems he got in with Lupa. Just Otaku. Yeah, thank you. Just Otaku. That's who I was trying to think of. Yeah, now they're known as Jake Chapman, but at the time they were just Otaku. Yeah.
How far are we parked from the house?
Not far. Why?
Can you check and make sure this isn't our car alarm going off?
Okay, I gotta check something. Have fun.
Scripts was done already, sitting around mostly finished since October, so it was easier to record and work on it. But the big factor in getting these videos out? They were normal length, around 20 to 30 minute reviews each. Singing notwithstanding, but we'll get to that in a minute. These longer reviews kick my ass. They are the big reason why the schedule slippages happen. I'm sorry, people, but I am going to be a lot more diligent with Patreon-sponsored reviews in 2025 and putting my foot down about length. And part of that is that 2025 will not feature a retrospective. Event Comics Month 6 will return in 2026, but the amount of work necessary for a retrospective, especially when some of the stuff I want to do in the future is much more niche and producing multiple hour...
Oh. Aesthetic attraction. Oh, it could be. Yeah, I mean, he might have gotten into like a major beef with Obscurus Lupa, but like, I don't know about that. I know she got into a big fucking beef with Brad. You know, and I seem to know a lot of Brad's exes. Don't have a lot of good stories. Or stories I should share. You know. Some people live messed up lives, man. Some people live messed up lives. You know, I know my life is kind of messed up. You know. Well, I don't know if it's messed up so much as I'm messed up. You know, dealing with emotional problems all the time. Well, I like Lupa and Phalos. Like, I still like them. I never had a reason to not like them. The only reason I think I didn't get along with them better is that they're very shy. And I'm very loud. So I think it was like, oh God, there's this loud guy next to us. What do we do? Which is funny because like Phaelus towers over me, which I thought I didn't realize how tall that guy was. That guy's a mutant. You know, his mutant power is being tall. You know, Lupa is about the size you imagine. The Phaelus is like 6'4". You know, at least. Like I was wearing my platform boots and he still towered over me. You know, part of the reason I got along with Lewis is not shy. Lewis is not shy. Lewis is very boisterous. Like, I like him a lot. I really got along with him fairly well. You know, we didn't become like best buds or anything. But, you know, we got along very well. I love Phaelus' toy reviews. No, Phaelus is taller than Guru. Phaelus is taller than Guru. Like, I'm not kidding when I said I was wearing my platform boots and Phaelus still towered over me. And I'm like 6 foot. So I think those heels make me like 6'2" or 3, something like that, somewhere in that range. So he's got to be at least like 6'4", 6'5". I think Lewis is about. I think Lewis is about my height, actually. Like he's about 6 foot. You know. Brad was very short. I didn't realize how short he was. Like he's like 5. He's got to be like 5'6". You know, maybe 5'4". Like he's not that tall a dude. I've known smaller guys, but like not many. Never ran into Doug. I'm told Doug is a short dude, but I don't know that from firsthand experience. Well, Lewis is very open. You know, he's very open and he's very pleasant.
Long videos. Yeah, we need a break from it this year. Don't look at this video's length. But oh yes, let's roll back a bit. We had a fun little time in December because we had no fun in October. The schedule slippages meant I didn't release my regular Halloween reviews in October. So Moarte decided to step things up in December, waging a war on Christmas and demanding I review spooky stuff during the season of... well, Christmas ghost stories are a thing, so I guess that's still spooky as well. Not spooky enough! It's still in the service of gift-giving and holiday cheer and crap! Go back to sleep, Eric Draven! According to the treaty, you're not allowed to complain about this stuff until at least February! But yeah, we started our new annual...
Who started the original war on Christmas? It was yours truly.
Halloween reviews in an unorthodox manner, but still starting them. We're going to be covering Evil Dead for the next couple years, and people seem to like my review of the adaptation of the movie. Expect at least one more adaptation in the future. And Moarte's war on Christmas ended with a peace treaty and us singing a holly jolly, but also spooky dooky song about Christmas versus Halloween. Ilnage is selling it. You should get a copy from his Bandcamp.
Oh, hey, Ilnage. He's a good musician. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio's a big dude. Like, you could tell he's a big dude.
Speaking of movies and movie adaptations, that was a popular subject for reviews this year. Patreon-sponsored reviews had me cover some weirder stuff on that front, the David Cronenberg movie Existenz, and the Moomins compilation movie about a planetary apocalypse via comet. What's weirder, the whole of Existenz or Bjork's theme song for the Moomins movie? You make the call! Well, aside from the Evil Dead adaptation, we got to see the comic adaptation.
Oh, God. No. I gotta. It's my favorite Bjork song. Yeah. Well, yeah. It never happened. It never happened. You know. We could probably make it happen if we were both really into it. I had an old. I used to have this whole like fucking home manga I was gonna do called Dojin City. You could probably tell that I love cities as a setting. And the whole idea was that I was taking a lot of these weird tropes from anime and manga and kind of expounding upon them. Like, what if a world actually worked that way? You know, and that it was everything like kind of crammed into one. Like having, like being really, really strange. I had my main character, I had my villain, and I had the climax. You know, I had the mini climax, the climax of the story, and then the climax of the main character's arc, which had him fucking falling out of a plane with the nemesis, and the two are trying to kill each other while they're about to hit the ground. The whole idea just being neither of them no longer care whether or not they live, they just want to kill the other one. Yeah, and as they're falling and fighting, like this was the song that was supposed to play if it was an anime. Yeah, and I won't tell you how the hero survives, because that was part of the whole deal. Yeah, they do vanquish evil, you know, at the end of it, at the end of the story. Yeah, and basically the reason I never did that comic is it turns out I'm not a very good comic creator. My vision outstripped my ability. It took me about a month to do a page.
Of The Empire Strikes Back, which was also kind of weird because it relied on a lot of narrating to us instead of showing the reader key moments. But oh, even weirder still than all the stuff I mentioned, the universe hiccuped again, and I ended up becoming Brandon Tanold of Brandon's Cult Movie Reviews so I could look at a horror movie called The Murder Mansion, which took a shockingly long time to get to the mansion or the murdering, though the title did in fact apply by the end. Though on the subject of misleading titles, another weird one for the Patreon-sponsored reviews saw me look at an episode of the soap opera Guiding Light, wherein a character becomes a superheroine, and the funniest damn thing I've seen all year happened. I am a professional comedian, and I could never come up with anything as hilarious as that. Other Patreon-sponsored reviews, of course, ran the full gamut of
Transformers.
subjects. With comics, we got to see Transformers, the Justice League, the long-awaited Shattered Grid, stuff I'm not a fan of, like Superior Spider-Man or Avengers Disassembled, but also stuff I did think was pretty good, like Sonic vs. Mega Man, or finally reviewing Marvel vs. DC, so we could eliminate that from the list of comics I'd never review. We got 2 episodes of Peacemaker, a few episodes of Ben 10, and even a Star Trek request as we got to look at the next generation version of the Mirror Universe. There were follow-ups, of course, more Gokaiger, a return to Delicious in Dungeon, and a quasi-follow-up to Batman vs. Aliens, Batman vs. Predator. Expect more of that in the future if we can keep the schedule to hold. Consequently, I had planned to look at the second issue of Superman vs. Aliens, but that got pushed aside. In fact, a lot of staples that we haven't finished yet got pushed back. Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters, DC Challenge, the long-awaited return to Batman Odyssey. I'm hoping to get back to them this year, but we'll see how it goes. Returning, of course, because it makes me lots of money, even when it causes me pain, was Event Comics Month, our 5th time doing it. And this one honestly wasn't too bad. I mean, it had bad or not great events, but only the first of them was soul-crushing. Secret Wars 2 was an utter slog, one of the longest reviews I've done for something that contained so much nothing. Much like the Beyonder's bladder after he got to learn how to pee thanks to Peter Parker. Comic books are weird, people! And you know it's weird because, of course, the other events were Infinity Crusade, Convergence, and Dark Knight's Death Metal, all unique and bizarre in their own rights, but still more enjoyable than Secret Wars 2 was. I can't say enough about how hard it was to write that script, and I have no idea why. It's not like I was hurting for material, but it just dragged, coming out a full month after the previous review. Easily the worst thing I looked at in 2024, which is pretty impressive considering I made time to review Youngblood's Strike File. We may have had less reviews, but it was certainly not an uneventful year. We went farther with merchandising, introducing several new items to the store envy, like a Comicron 1 model, keychains, earrings, magnets. Hell, I have a multicolor 3D printer now, so the symbol pins now actually are more than just all gold, and the mini Poyos aren't hand-painted anymore. Unfortunately, a fully colored Comicron 1 probably isn't gonna happen. This thing took 2 days to print on its own and generated a lot of waste in the process. I'm not saying it's off the table, but at the very least, I would need to afford a second super fast printer to help justify it. Consequently, working on action figures utilizing the open source Easy13 system. I'll be very blocky, but also very posable. Just how everyone wants me. Oh, but even better than my own merchandising is other companies' merchandising.
Yeah, like, well, at that point, you want to do a small toy run. You with the fully colored, you want to. I mean, that may be against his thing. Like, it made the whole point maybe that he wants to control and 3D print everything, but like, there's a lot of stuff I want to do. Yeah, sometimes I think about action figures and things like that. Make an action figure, but I'd make an action figure. So no action figures. Wah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Did the shtick outlast its welcome? Maybe. Could be. Could be. You know, oh. Man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Count Jackula fixture has to be anatomically correct. Yeah, with a perfectly average-sized penis. Oh. Looks like Egon Ham with multi... Yeah, I know, right?
For this year, I became a marketable plushie with this tiny chibi version of me that you guys crowdfunded to get in on. Expect more in the future. I'm thinking of plushie Poyo next, but if you guys want something else, let me know in the comments. I'll sometimes listen to you. I finally moved away from Twitter after so many years, as it has become a wretched hive of scum and villainy. I still post there, but mostly just promotional tweets that get buried anyway, because how dare I have a YouTube link in it. If you want more incoherent ramblings about whatever show or movie I'm watching these days, you can fly the friendly skies with me over on Blue Sky. I even managed to get the Linkara name on it, unlike on Twitter, where I went by Linkara19 because some long-defunct Spanish social network grabbed Linkara years before I did, and hasn't posted since 2009, where their last post was saying they were switching to a different name. That also no longer exists. Social media is stupid. You know what isn't stupid, though? VTubers. I hung out with them a lot this year. Aside from playing Fortnite and Among Us with Eldritch Grandpa, I joined Red Claw's Spooky Division, wherein we watched analog horror stuff and hunted Bigfoot one time. As part of that, I also got to join in on Party Demonesses, aka Minerva's, science team, as we contacted aliens in Voices of the Void. All science team members have a field of expertise, so naturally I chose art history, the most useful subject when communicating with invisible cat aliens. But on the subject of Voices of the Void, I even got to hang out for a bit with Kieran and Grant of the Good Time Zone, helping them deal with demonic specters and telling them how they should really not put a radioactive capsule in the microwave. And it's a good thing they never did that.
Let's get a real good look at that. Everything's fine up here. Everything's okay. You hear
Everything's shaking down here! And yes, I mentioned Fortnite. I actually got into it in 2024 thanks to another stream I participated in.
No. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Lost the video there. Man. I don't know what I'm doing. I think that's like a classic problem that I have. I don't know what I'm doing. Non-action figure with inflating boobs. That sounds good. That sounds good. I like that. Oh, inflating boobs. Good stuff. Yeah, I think I'm in. How's the horror dude? He's doing fine. He's doing good. I'm feeling like really weird. Is Tony Goldmark nice? Yeah, he's fairly nice. You know, he's demanding to work with, but like, you know, he's nice in person. How is the horror guru doing? He's doing good. He's doing good. Sorry, I just all of a sudden got hit by the existential angst of what am I doing with my life? Now, what am I doing with my life? What am I trying to do? Who am I trying to be? What's up? You know. I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, we still live together. He's in the next room. You know, watching something. You feel bad for Luke Ski and Tony? Yeah, they're good friends with TV's count. Yeah, well, I think I don't know what's been going on with them the last few years, but like last thing I knew, they were repairing their relationship. Yeah, I think it's midlife crisis shit. How often do I get hit with existential dread? Yeah, like a lot. Like a lot. You know? And I think it's because, like, the thing that I have been working on isn't out yet. Hey, Letha, what's up? TV's Kyle was arrested for CP. Oh, that dude? Oh, that dude was always a jerk. That dude. I was like, I know you're not talking about Kyle Colgren when you say TV's Kyle, so I don't know what Kyle you're talking about. Now you're talking about arrested for CP. Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, that. Now, fuck that guy. You know. Yeah, I felt bad for fucking Luke Ski over that because he essentially lost his show over that. You know, but man, fuck that guy. Letha, you're having some drinks and playing Marvel Rivals. I am not good at Marvel Rivals. Yeah, the guy looked like a kitty diddler. He really did. What's CP? Child porn. CP is child porn. Yeah, he's a kitty diddler. He was a Chet Kyle the molester. He was Uncle Touchy. You just like playing the characters? That's probably the way to play the game. Well, it's like I remember like my experience with Overwatch, which is great game until you've hit the player base. You know? Yeah, and I'm just like, I just don't have the energy for this shit no more. You know. Let's see, what am I into now? Well, obviously I got back into role playing games. But man, but man. Excuse me. Well, here's the thing I've learned. You're saying like Marvel Rivals is toxic to get super high levels, which is chill, ironically. I believe it because never is the fighting so bitter as when the stakes are so low. And I'm not real good at those games. I am bronze. So much bronze. I can never get out of bronze. I was just like, if I could just get to silver, I'll be happy. Fuck you. Like, never got out of bronze. And I'm like, I don't know about what it is about me, that keeps me in bronze, but like I got sick of it. At some point, you just got to be like, you know what? I'm just not good at this kind of shit. Just not good at it. Like I am with life. I think that is my big worry, is that I just suck at life. I always wanted like the positive, like fucking the positive reinforcement of being good at something, but I don't think I'm really good at anything. That's probably my problem, is I don't think I'm good at anything. Why am I still looking at Monster High shit? I should probably stop that. Ah. Oh, boy. Think you better give yourself credit for it? Oh, thanks. Oh. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I definitely am one of those guys that needs some sort of like morale boost, like on a reasonably regular basis. It kind of, it's not fun. You know, I think about I try not to think about it too much, but I think about it a lot. I think about it a lot. You know, probably more than I should. I don't really know how to stop. It's like, I never really learned how to say nice things about tell myself nice things about myself. It's probably why I get so discouraged, you know. Like, what would I be if I had less of that? I don't know. Hopefully, you'll find out. Hopefully, we'll find out. Now, I don't expect it to stop completely. I need it to, like, stop kicking my ass. I'm probably feeding the wrong wolf, if you get my meaning. Oh. All right, let's see. What are we doing right now? Let's think about right now. Whoop. I Yeah. Oh, I know I'm not alone. You know. Shimogami Tensei Mythos. Yes, it's good stuff. Yeah, it's just good stuff. There's a lot of Satanism in Shinigami Tensei, even if there doesn't need to be. Because I see Satanism very much as the rejection of the established order. Establishment of an unjust order. And there's unjust order all over the place. All over the place. You never run out of work. You know. And I think we're coming out of a dark period. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, which is good. You know, and I don't just be for me, I be for all of us. I see us coming out of a dark place. You know, the Trump years won't last forever, and I think they're going to end sooner than we realize. You know, they're too insane to rule for long. They're too insane and too stupid. Oligarchs rise and fall all the time. At least you didn't burn your pizza, sigh. Oh, sorry about that, man. However, I mean, yeah, maybe I need to go and take a nap. I'm starting to feel like a little knackered, you know. I didn't get good sleep last night, and that made me grouchy, and now it's probably putting me in a bad mood. And there's no reason I need to be like being in a bad mood, coming on just to be in a bad mood. However, there we go. Might as well fix that. No reason for me to be on here just to be in a bad mood and hating on myself. So I think I gotta take off for a bit. I think I will feel better. I'll feel better. It'll just take a little time. And maybe like a good night's sleep. Shit like that. Just rest, and I'll feel better. So I will definitely see you guys later. So till then, obviously, Thomas Disco Inferno. Remember, Satan and I love you very much. Thanks for coming down, even though it was short. I know we used to go all night. But like these days, your Uncle Jack now take a nappy nap. And until next time, you take care. Love y'all.